My name is Shannon Bailey, and I'm the Chief Curator at the World Chess Hall of Fame. And hello and welcome to this very special event. It is an honor hosting the inductions to the prestigious U.S. and World Chess Halls of Fame each year, and tonight we are presenting the incredible contributions to this game for 10 individuals, 2 of whom are present this evening, and we also have the family of another inductee. The World Chess Hall of Fame has been hosting the induction into the Halls of Fame since we opened in St. Louis in 2011. We have also created over 50 exhibitions related to the history of chess and have welcomed over 200,000 visitors to our museum. And we had so many special people come in and out over the last couple of weeks, and it was an honor meeting so many of you, especially today. Our current exhibition, Crown Jewels, showcases 75 donations from 50 donors and is curated by Nicole Tesmer, our registrar. And we also have Clash for the Crown, curated by Emily Allred, which celebrates the 100th anniversary of FIDE by highlighting the incredible achievements of the world champions. In addition to producing dynamic and brilliant exhibitions, Emily also manages the inductions to the U.S. and World Chess Hall of Fame. I would like to introduce her as she will kick off tonight's momentous celebrations.
Thank you, Shannon. Every year, it is our honor to host the U.S. and World Chess Halls of Fame induction ceremonies, celebrating the accomplishments of chess luminaries from around the globe. FIDE's historical committee selects new inductees for their roles as players, writers, and trailblazers. This year, in honor of FIDE's 100th anniversary, we will be inducting a much larger class than usual, 10 people. Among them are world champions, women's world champions, and players who competed at the highest levels of the game. We are honored to have women grandmasters Nana Alexandria and Irina Levitina in attendance tonight, and international master Georgy Orlov and Nick Orlov representing Elena Donaldson-Akhmilovskaya. Thank you to Dr. Jeannie Karen Sinkfield and Rex Sinkfield, whose generous support makes events like this possible. Rex, could you stand to be honored, please? Thank you, Rex. Thank you also to the wonderful staff of the World Chess Hall of Fame and the St. Louis Chess Club who have made this event a reality. With that, I'll let the event get kicked off. I'd like to welcome to the stage Michael Kordakovsky, who's FIDE Vice President and who will be conducting tonight's inductions.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you, everyone who able to came here for this ceremony. You know, being FIDE Vice President, it's like more ceremonial role, so I got used to it. And always when I come to the podium, I think whether I should be just inductor-in-chief or a stand-up comedian. So anyhow, you know, I was born actually in Soviet Union, and I learned from my childhood that if you talk too much, you can get to Siberia. So, so I would rather be short in all presentations. So I will be inductor-in-chief today. So I will start with the person that I knew personally, Grandmaster Efim Geller. He is from the same city that I was born and he was born, and we actually did have chance to meet several times, even when I was young, and not to mention that his parents lived maybe like 3-4 blocks from place where I lived, and not many people know that Efim Geller was aviation mechanic, and my father was a pilot, so they knew each other after World War II. But in 1955, he became Soviet champion, and after that he took off and moved to Moscow. Although his family still was, for a certain period of time, including his parents, lived in Odessa until they passed, and his son, Alexander, actually attended school just one grade below me. So we kind of were acquainted for quite a while. So, nevertheless, Efim Geller was the prominent figure in chess. He played many world champions and actually had good results against Evie, Botvinnik, Smyslov, Tal, Petrosian, Spassky, Fischer, and Karpov. And as a matter of fact, Bobby Fischer admitted that the only person that he afraid of on Spassky's team in 1972 match, it was Efim Geller, because you never know what this guy will come up with that. And because he was also a theoretician and he had many good ideas. One of the, I recall that late Clara Kasparova, Gary's mom, was saying, you know, Geller called and said that he wants to come and show Gary something. And she said, how come? You're working with Karpov. But he would never play this. So he said that basically he actually wanted to show his ideas to those who can implement his theoretical novelties, and he was famous in those theories. And, you know, considering that and actually one more about Geller, I have 10 seconds for him. He won World Soviet Championship in 1955 and surprisingly in 1979. So it was, although he played in many World Championships, but it was huge gap, like 24 years between first and second championship. Not to mention that he played on 8 gold medal Olympic teams for the Soviet Union. So, and because I have power vested in me to induct Efim Geller, it's a pleasure to do this. And I move on next to the person that I didn't know personally, but I studied his games as well. It's German Grandmaster Robert Hübner, and he's one of the strongest players in the world and played candidates matches between 70s and 90s. And he was actually 4-time candidate for the World Championship matches. And he represented Germany in many chess Olympiads. I believe the last one, it was in Istanbul in 2000. And he has also a PhD in papyrology, and is required to be fluent in 22 languages. I don't know how he accomplished that, but he did. And a major variation in the Nimsa Indian defense is named after him. So on behalf of FIDE, I induct Robert Hübner into the World Chess Hall of Fame. Next one I know very well. It's Vladimir Kramnik, world champion in 2000. And it was, did I skip? Yes. I'm sorry. Oh, that's special. So I will spend more time. I put my gavel in because the first time I saw Nana playing, it was, so I will go a little bit off the script. When I served in army in Georgia, and she was playing a world championship match against Maya Cheburdanidze, and it was two halves, and I was able to see her only in Tbilisi because I was not allowed to go from Tbilisi to Borjomi. But I had good friends at the Republican, not Republican Party of Georgia, but Republican Chess Club in Tbilisi, and was helping at the press center, but watching her play. Not to mention that my good friend, Grandmaster Sam Palatnik, was one of the coaches on her team during that match. And I still remember Game 16 when Nana won and match was drawn, and women's world champion left the stage, but Nana remained on the stage, and it was standing ovation. So I still remember this, and Nana always been one of the best in the world among grandmasters, and I don't know if I even remember when your son was little at that time, he was also over there. So, fast forward, Nana was on a legendary team of Georgia Republic, winning so many Olympiads, gold medals. It was impossible even to compete against this team. And for 16 years, Nana was the chairperson of the FIDE Commission, and she is international arbiter. But again, after many years, we met in 2006 in Batumi, when Nana was chief arbiter of the World Youth Championship. And it was a situation when we needed to inspect something together, so Nana asked me, and then she drove. So I thought that she should participate in the race because she was driving like excellent race driver in Batumi. Yes, you did. So anyhow, it is my pleasure and my honor to induct on behalf of FIDE Nana Alexandria to World Chess Hall of Fame. And that's done. And I would like to invite Nana Kabatana with my limited Georgian.
You wanted to omit me, but it did not work. Okay. No, good evening. No. Good evening. It's for 2 days I'm in St. Louis, and there are 3 things that impressed me most. First, it was shock from the World Chess Hall of Fame environment. Exhibition with Fischer-Spassky table, museum, chess clubs, chess shop, everything on such level and with such taste that I could not expect. I thought that something good and perhaps fantastic was waiting for me from the point of chess, but it turned out to be shockingly fantastic. And thanks to everybody, and especially Mr. For such help and for such encouragement of chess. Second, it was Central Library with masterpiece ceilings and all the rest there. And I paid attention to one ceiling, and it said, to be a successful inventor, you need 3 things: intelligence, perseverance, and just a little bit of luck. And it's somehow connected with chess as well. And I remember that when Garry Kasparov presented me one of his books, he wrote to a charming legend, Nana Alexandria, wishing you a little bit more luck. And that's why perhaps I paid attention to that ceiling. And the third thing that impressed me when I arrived in St. Louis, no, but it's impossible to guess. It's my youth emotions. It is Pericomo. In this hotel, well, 6 presidents of US stayed here, but Pericomo was something special for me because my favorite song of my student period was It's Impossible. And I managed to buy it somewhere abroad, and I was the only one to have this record in the whole city, in Tbilisi. And so in those times, I could not believe that it was possible to be some place where Pericomo had some touch with the place. So it was my third impression. So seriously, I'm very glad to be here. And I am honored to be part of today's ceremony together with people, my colleagues who made chess history. For 60 years of my chess, being me in chess, I've met all world champions, but never met Fischer, and all the people who were chess legends. And of course, and it is natural that I knew better my colleagues, Elena Akhmilovskaya and Irina Levitina. It's painful that Lena died so early, and it was a sorrow not only for her family, but also for her chess family. I played one match, candidates match, with Yelena. In 1980, I won, but 6 years later, 86, she won candidates tournament ahead of me. After the tournament, Lena told me, no, I wanted to make a quick draw in the last round, but my second said that, would you prefer to play one game against the Chinese Wu, or you want to play a match against Nana? So she played the game, won, and then gained the right to play the World Championship match. With her, I played twice in the Olympiad. Winner Olympic team members we were. And so it's really painful that she could not be together with us. As for Levitina, my rival, main, and my friend, well, I played 8 cycles, candidate cycles, 3 candidates tournaments, 10 candidates matches, and 2 World Championship matches. But during this period, I can say honestly that Irina Levitina, or Irina, how you call her, was one of the most talented chess players and one of the most successful chess players. And we played 2 matches on the candidates level. In 75, it was candidates final match, which is the longest match in the history of women's match. We're accustomed to men's matches for lasting 5 months or so on, but this 2 months match with 17 games and 5 additional games is the longest match in the history of women's match. I was lucky, I won, but then Ira in 1983 got revenge, and this match also was with additional games. So it's such a, I counted that we had the most number of games I played against Ira, 45 games, and I have 1 point ahead I am. But I don't know. I was really glad to see Ira here, and I wish her success in her pedagogy. She's now training children, and I'm wishing her success and happiness. Today when I came here, Mr. John, former president of US Chess Federation, remembered that Chess Review 1969, there was an article about the prestigious Belgrade tournament, and there was an article about I was the youngest winner, about me. It was shocking that he could remember this chess review. Of course, it is not nice that all my memorable dates are of half a century, but it is nice that I'm still remembered, and I'm very thankful to everybody who mentioned my name and who very grateful that I'm today the part of this ceremony. And my special thanks also to the World Chess Hall of Fame staff team, because they made everything that my travel and my coming here was comfortable. Thank you.
So now we go back to Kramnik. Sorry, Nana. So pages were just together. So anyway, Kramnik in 2000 was able to defeat my good friend Garry Kasparov. It was painful. I was there at the match. But, he introduced Berlin defense or Berlin Wall that Garry at the time wasn't able to tear as Ronald Reagan did. So anyhow, since then, he defended his title in the match against Leka, and he defeated Topalov. But then he lost in his title, but he won many tournaments, and of course, his exceptional positional understanding of the game and basically that he collected from his predecessors gave him opportunity to become world champion and one of the best players in the world full time. And right now, I just saw him in Budapest. He was captain of the team from Uzbekistan. And so he changed his career, and I will stop short on that. So we wish him all the best. And on behalf of FIDE and Power Vested in me, I would like to induct Vladimir Kramnik to the World Chess Hall of Fame. Next one is Grandmaster Fridrik Olafsson from Iceland, and actually he's still a living FIDE president. He was president just for 4 years, not like Kilimjinov for God knows how many years he was. But anyhow, his best performance was to tie for 5th-6th with Bobby Fischer in 1958, an interzonal tournament. At the time, he was probably one of the best in the West during the time of domination of the Soviet chess players. Even Bobby was young, but it was a very good result for Olafsson. And his other highlights of his career in Vikensee 1976, he was tying for 3rd with Lyubomir Lyubovich, one of the best, again, Western players of the time. And also he was 3rd on the first Petigorsky Cup here in the United States in a field composed entirely of world-class grandmasters. On behalf of FIDE, I induct Fridrik Olafsson into the World Chess Hall of Fame. Well, part of the words about Elena Akhmilovskaya or Elena Donaldson-Akhmilovskaya, Nana already said, and she was one of the strongest Soviet players in 20th century. Her debut was in 1976 at the Women's Interzonal, where she tied for 1st, a frequent participant in the Women's World Championship cycle for over 20 years. The highlight of her career was winning the 1986 Women's Candidates Tournament, as Nana just mentioned. And this qualified her to play a title match, which she lost to reigning world champion at the time, Maya Chiburdanidze. And Elena had some sensational results in the Olympiads while representing Soviet Union, scoring, for example, 10 out of 10 in 1978, and 8.5 versus half in 1988, 10 years later. I believe the same year she immigrated to United States, winning the U.S. Women's Championship in 1990, 1993, and 1994. Last time I met her in 2007 when she attended FIDE trainer seminar that I conducted together with my friend and colleague Grandmaster Chernin and at the time women's world champion Alexandra Kostyniuk. And here. I'm very happy that her husband and my old friend Georgy Orlov are here, and Elena's son Nick is here. And before I will invite them to the stage, on behalf of FIDE, I would like to induct her to the World Chess Hall of Fame. So, Georgie and Nick, please. Georgie, how about you?
I'd like, first of all, to express my tremendous gratitude to World Chess Hall of Fame and St. Louis Chess Club for bringing us here. Like Miss Alexandria mentioned, it is really a life-changing experience for a chess player to be in St. Louis. We came out of the airport and we saw chess pictures and the chess players displayed there. There was a chess restaurant. This basically shows how community values your contribution and it recognizes that contribution, that it actually feels that you guys are a mark of this city just like anything else. So it was actually quite an experience to see that. And then Emmanuel Ulrich has helped us out with arrangement to come here, made us very welcome, and Shannon Bailey gave us a wonderful tour of the Hall of Fame where we saw some antique chess sets from China, and Nick and I played a chess game at the table of Bobby Fischer. It was actually, thankfully, a quick draw. Something that Nick's mom, Elena, probably would not approve of because she was always a very fearless competitor. Nick worked very hard at her game, was very serious about it. She, I believe, played very, very strong chess game, but she had 4 reasons why she did not become the world champion. And there was Maya Chaburdanidze, Nana Alexandria, Irina Levitina, and Nana Alexandria. So she competed against all of them at one point or another. When she was the closest, probably in the late 80s, she lost to Maya in 1986. In 1977, she lost to Maya in a candidate cycle, so it was the second loss to Maya. And then Ieseliani defeated her in 1988 in Skaltubo match, which was 1 point apart. So, I mean, she worked very hard and she gave her life to chess, and she was always a fearless competitor. She'd never take a quick draw from anybody. We are happy to be here and seeing her recognized for all her efforts and contribution to chess. She was U.S. champion here, I believe, 3 times. She played for U.S. Olympic chess team, and of course, a little bit later in life, she did not have as much strength as back in her younger years, but she worked very hard. And I remember that she always prepared for the Olympiad, even though she had a chess school that was teaching kids, but she would come at night and she would make me show her some openings, ideas, and we would review some competitor games. So she gave it all she had, and unfortunately she passed away in 2012 from cancer that was basically incurable, but even then she knew it. She exercised, she tried all sorts of different things. She fought very hard, but sometimes you don't win. With that in mind, I just wanted to pass this to Nick, that she really allowed it.
A lot of y'all known her as Elena. I knew her as mom. And for all the effort that she put in her chess career, she put even more into just being an amazing mom, taking me to every every tennis practice. Started teaching me chess at the age of 3. Ultimately, I didn't end up going with chess, and but whatever endeavor I picked, whatever I wanted to do, she supported it, and she gave me everything. And I'm so proud to be the man I am today because of Elena and because of my mom. So I just want to say thank you to the Chess Hall of Fame, and just want to celebrate her honor tonight. So thank you, everybody.
So the next nominee is Grandmaster Oscar Panno. Oscar Panno first came to the chess world's attention when he won World Junior Championship in 1953, and he competed Bent Larsen, Boris Ivkov, and Fridrik Olafsson. 2 years later, he qualified for the candidates by placing third in the interzonal. Efim Geller, Tigran Petrosyan, and Boris Spassky. The first strong player born in South America at the time. Panno never played professionally, but won many strong international events and represented Argentina in 11 Olympiads, winning team medals in 1954, silver, 1958 bronze, and 1962 bronze. A major line in the King's Indian variation bears his name. On behalf of FIDE, I induct Grandmaster Oscar Panno from Argentina to the World Chess Hall of Fame.
So Oscar Panno was unable to be with us tonight, but he very kindly recorded a speech to share with us, and it's translated by Grandmaster Robert Hungoski.
Bueno, sí.
So when I take this opportunity to thank someone for bestowing on me such an honor, I just wanted to thank Rex Singfield for all of the work that he's been doing in St. Louis and the role that chess benefactors have played throughout the years. So of course, to recognize that effort and to say how humbled I am by this induction, and also to maybe use this as a platform to get the work that my foundation has been doing out to the public and get the word out on a very interesting initiative. So on the one hand, thank you. And on the other hand, look what I've been working on. I had a certain disadvantage when it came to professional chess because perhaps at the height of my chess career, I was a student of engineering. So the study of engineering required a lot of my time, and of course, when I graduated and began working as an engineer, I could only afford myself 1 or 2 international level, elite level tournaments a year. So I never fully developed as a chess professional. Of all the world champions, perhaps the one I admire the most is Mikhail Botvinnik because of what he meant for the development of the study of chess, but I never actually got to meet him. Of the world champions that I have met, I had great experiences with Bobby Fischer, for example. I had to lose a game by forfeit against him once because of some discrepancy with the organizer. Put that all in my autobiography, so it's all in there. But I remember after that game, we went out to dinner, and he was always very cordial, very respectful, and very considerate towards his fellow chess players. But I was also very good friends with Spassky. We would play tennis together. I was very good friends with Petrosian, although we had a bit of a language barrier, but we were always very friendly. And then, of course, Polugaevsky, David Bronstein, one could go on and on. A passion project of mine for many years, dating back perhaps to the 90s, but of course before then. But in the 90s, I published a series of chess magazines that were available nationwide. Those magazines were compiled to a 2-volume set, were during the 90s considered kind of essential reading materials here in Argentina. But the essence of the project was to achieve a general chess literacy in the country, meaning that at the scholastic level, by the time one would leave school, one would also be able to just understand the basic mechanics of a chess game, to be able to play over a chess game. And this idea of achieving chess literacy is the essence of the foundation that I have now and the essence of the work that I'm doing now, because in order to achieve this chess literacy, there are not enough chess players or chess teachers. So the key to this program is to train teachers, have, of course, their own training in their own particular subject matter, which might not be chess, but on top of that, to be able to teach chess and to have the necessary tools, not necessarily to make professional chess players, but just to make more well-rounded individuals that can appreciate chess. So the foundation has a program that we try to get to as many people as possible. And again, the purpose of the program is to give people that are already teachers the tools to be able to teach chess as well. So I think we can find a link to the magazines and the website for the foundation and the website for the training program. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank Rex Singfield. I was just brought up to date with some of the history of the St. Louis Chess Club and Mr. Singfield's passion for chess. So I just want to recognize that and thank him, and just take a moment to say what an important role these types of benefactors have had throughout the history of chess, because it takes me back to when I was invited to play in the Piatigorsky Cup, or the Lone Pine tournaments, or organizers like Statham Van Osterom, that even organized some notable tournaments here in Buenos Aires, like the Polugaevsky Memorial, which was at 1994. In the 90s, an elite tournament was held also with this type of sponsorship. So it has been instrumental, and it's great to see St. Louis has become a beacon for chess. So thank you.
So the next one is Lev Polugaevsky, very famous at the time when he played. He was many times candidate for the World Championship cycle, and he never made it to the match for the title itself. But he defeated Mikhail Tal and Enrique Macking, and he also played the World Championship, Team Championship, and at the Olympiads. And Lev also remembered as a theoretician. He has one of the sharpest lines in Najdorf defense named after him, and he played himself this line as well as some other players. And on behalf of FIDE, I induct Grandmaster Lev Polugaevsky into the World Chess Hall of Fame. Next nominee, former women's world champion, Chen Zhu, or Zhu Chen, as she prefers. She was from China, now she lives in Qatar, and married to Grandmaster Modaka, and she's also FIDE treasurer, and currently my colleague, the FIDE council. And she won World Girls Championship under 12 in 1988, and twice finishing first in the World Junior Girls Championship in 94 and 96. I reached the apex of her career by winning a Women's World Championship in 2001 and playing key role in China winning the Women's Chess Olympiad in 98, 2000, and 2002, 3 Olympiads in a row. And she also played an important role in making China the dominant power in women's chess during the past 3 decades. And now she's representing Qatar, but of course she's promoting chess right now as FIDE councilwoman all over the world, and she's a key personality nowadays as well. And on behalf of FIDE, I induct Women's World Champion Zhu Chen to the World Chess Hall of Fame.
Zhu Chen was not able to be here tonight, but she did send a recorded statement, which we will play now.
Hello everyone, I'm thrilled to induct into the World Chess Hall of Fame. Honestly, I thought this event was just about hanging our photos on the wall and gathering here for snacks and drinks. When I was around 6, I would watch my dad play Chinese chess with our neighbor. A year later, my cousin was selected to learn chess because of her math skills. I remember I was thinking I'm stepping into a fairy tale world. The horses, queens, and castles. In 1988, I attended the World Cadet Tournament in Romania, where I became the first Chinese chess player to win a World Championship title. I then joined the national team and represented China, winning 2 Girls' World Junior Championship in 1994 and 1996, as well as 3 women's team chess Olympiad titles between 1998 and 2002. We were like a champions factory. It was truly incredible. The Americans were getting jealous of the factories, but the Indians are starting to catch up. In 1997, I managed to snag the running-up spot in the Chinese men's individual championship. Luckily for me, Ding was only 5 years old back then. My result still holds as the best ever achieved by a Chinese woman in the men's championship. I know I had a game, but I always kept it humble. In 2001, I won the Women's World Championship. And around the same time, I got married, moved to Qatar during the SARS outbreak in China, and welcomed 2 beautiful daughters into the world. All while representing Qatar and winning several Arabic Women's Championship titles, and in 2018, I took on the role of treasurer for FIDE. That's right, I'm not just a chess player, I'm also great at managing finances, just as my husband. Chess has connected me to global cultures and taught me about the richness of human thought. Only great and wise mind can truly save the world through peace. While politicians often appear more focused on games of power and money, struggling to understand the importance of diversity and lasting peace. Let's forget about the politicians, and I would also like to take this opportunity to thank my family, my coach, my friends, and my chess fans. Honestly, they deserve a medal for putting up with me for so long. Finally, a huge thank you to the organizer of the World Chess Hall of Fame. You made me feel like even the most charming kings on the chessboard will be next to me one day on the wall. Thank you, everyone. So kisses and love. Bye, and enjoy your snacks and drinks.
Now we quickly approached the final nominee, last but not least, Grandmaster Irina Levitina, who is originally from St. Petersburg, or back then it was Leningrad, and she certainly represented at that time Leningrad School of Chess. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, your coach was Master Kondratiev. Am I right? So I still have a good memory. And even back then, Irina excelled not only in chess but in bridge. So in two best table games that she became very, very proficient and very strong. But first, when she won Soviet Women's Championship in 1971 at the age of 17. At the time, it was remarkable, and I believe it was a record at the time, right? No, Nana? I'm sorry, Nana. Yeah, okay, I must learn, yes. So she repeated this accomplishment in 1978 and then 79 and 1981, respectively. And before defeating Nana Gaprindashvili, and Lydia Semyonova in the 1982-84 Women's World Championship cycle, losing only to Maya Cheburdanidze in the Women's World Championship match. Irina won the U.S. Women's Championship 3 times in a row since she immigrated in 1990, then 91, 92, and 93, she did the hat trick and became 3 times U.S. champion. And she also won 5 world championship titles in women's bridge. So it's also a big accomplishment. And of course, she will tell more about herself and her career. But before she will do this, on behalf of FIDE, it is my honor and privilege to induct Grandmaster Irina Levitina to the World Chess Hall of Fame.
Thank you. Спасибо. Okay. As you have heard, so chess was my first life. Bridge was my second life, and both were great, but I will always remember my first life as a beautiful one. You know, I didn't play chess for a long time, so I was really surprised when I got in the email that somehow I was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I didn't know what it was. I heard about St. Louis, that they have a great club, but that's about it. And now I had a chance to see what it really is, and it's fantastic. So all these people who work there, you do such a great job, and you help us to come here and to be here on stage. As I say, we're kind of old-timers, so I'm pretty sure for the young chess players, we're like maybe dinosaurs who either existed or didn't exist, but we still exist, and we could play this game when we were young. Yeah? Do you know we played different chess, which has almost nothing in common with the modern one, no computers, no anything. It was good. You didn't have to study that much, you know. So many tournaments, they lasted for a month. Can you imagine? It's impossible. And I would not even try to explain what adjourned games are, because he will not understand it. But we played it. And so there was a very good part of it, because we were fierce competitors at the when we played chess, but we spent a lot of time together, and we formed great friendships. So whenever we come to any city, we always have friends. Like my second home was Tbilisi, because almost all the best women's chess players lived there. So we were treated, you can't imagine, we were treated like queens. So they were the national treasure. Yeah, Nana, am I right? And so I remember when I came, go there, go to Nana's home, Nona's home. Yesterday we remembered how her little son danced because Nana told him that he had to entertain me. So he danced beautifully, yeah? And it's so good, you know. I don't know how it's nowadays, but I don't think it's exactly the same, the relationship between the plays, how it was when we played. Nana also asked me to remind, when I remembered yesterday, how the first time we came to the US, because we played in the Olympiad in Medellin, I think it's called, in Colombia, but we had to stop in New York City. You know, there were no direct flights, unfortunately. So we stopped for 2 days. We were in the room and we wanted to go outside sightseeing, but there were 2 TV sets in the rooms. And for 24 hours, we were just watching TVs because we have never seen anything like that before, you know. And we were used to like 2, 3 channels when, in a way, you could only watch soccer or basketball, nothing else. And suddenly everything. So the second day, our coaches turned the TVs off and we had to go sightseeing. That's what happened, Nana, yeah? I remember. Now I want to talk about Elena Akhmilovskaya, a dear friend of mine. So we were very good friends. We spent a lot of time together. She was born not in Moscow, St. Petersburg, or Tbilisi. So to get to where she was, she needed her talent and perseverance. And she achieved that much, and it's such a sad story that she left us so young. But she will be always remembered. Okay, Georgi and Nicholas, really, we will always remember Elena. Yeah. Now, maybe one more thing I want to say. So for people who don't play chess, you know, they look at us and cannot understand what we were doing, so that we were completely crazy, looking at the board, moving some pieces, instead of doing some very important things like watching movies or going shopping. But they don't understand that what unites us all is the love for the game. The great game we played and play, those who play now, and that's what really unites us. And that's about it, what I want to say.
Thank you, Irina. That was really beautiful. Thank you to our inductees, to the Orlovs, Michael, FIDE, the U.S. Chess Trust, and to the Sink Fields again, whose generous contributions have made this night possible. And thank you to all of you for attending. I hope you enjoyed the evening.